I'm gonna be completely honest with you right now. How did it take me 5 years to come up with this as a video series? Pathfinder 2nd Edition has a lot of strong suits going for it, but if you ask people, a really popular thing they'll tell you they love about it is the Feats system. Also the 3-action economy. Also that your ancestry gives you new abilities, and a lot of other things. But so many people love the Lego-style character building of Pathfinder 2nd Edition's feats. They all feel unique, they all feel impactful, and best of all, most of them don't have feat chains, so you can usually get away with taking what you want at the appropriate level without feeling like you need to spend all of the previous levels building up to it. So I figured I'd sit down and do something I hadn't done before, and that's figure out my top 5 favorite feats for, in today's video, the Fighter class. And if y'all like this, I'll do it for more other classes as well, because boy, it's really hard to pick 5. Every class gets like 50 plus feats to pick from level 1 to level 20, so narrowing it down to just my top 5 was really hard, especially taking into consideration all the potential and possibilities of each feat. Some feats shine more in specific party compositions, but that makes me like them a little bit less because they're a little bit more niche. Other feats are really, really good, but might not be super interesting. Spoiler alert, Exacting Strike is not on this list, even though I think it's a really good feat. It's just boring. You're gonna call me a hypocrite at this time code. I hope you're ready. But I think I've narrowed it down. My 5 favorite feats in order leading up to my number 1 favorite fighter feat in the game. And I already know there's gonna be comments saying, oh my gosh, no, that's talking about the fighter. He hates the fighter. It's time to come clean. The fighter is my favorite class. It always has been. I've been a player in like 6 or 7 Pathfinder 2e campaigns over the years, not counting one-shots. I've played a fighter in 3 of them. I love fighters. And I'm tired of pretending I don't. Put it on a t-shirt, no not ones. Fighter lover. I'm gonna kiss Valeros on the mouth. Anyway, I want to give a huge shout out to all the members of the No Not One's Patreon page. They're all supporting me. I'm not doing another take, so I'm gonna keep going. They make this content possible. If you'd like your name to also be on this list, you can find the link in the description. Pledge for $1, $5, $10, or $20 a month. They all do the exact same thing. They just support me a little bit more. Thank you to everyone who's supporting me, and thank you for letting me do single takes, because actors like me don't do 2 takes. Okay, let's get into the top 5 of whatever chaotic energy I've brought into this video. Also, something I want to mention before we get into this list is that a lot of them are going to be lower level feats. Now, this might not mean that the feats are stronger than high level feats. In fact, most of the time, they're not. But you get a lot more use out of them. They are useful for more of the campaign, and if you can't live to see level 16, it doesn't matter what the level 16 feat is, but if that level 1 feat has been useful in every combat, that's a good feat. That was a good snap, damn. So we're gonna start off with number 5 at level 2, Combat Grab. This is a feat I see slept on so much, and you wanna know why? It's because nobody wants to play a one-handed fighter without a shield. And yes, there are shields with the freehand trait, but everyone wants a steel shield or a tower shield that can just take a bunch of hits, reduce the damage, increase your armor class by that fat +2. But let me tell you, if you can leave that free hand open, Combat Grab is insane. All you have to do is land a strike at fighter weapon proficiency, and the target is automatically grabbed. There is no saving throw, there is no skill check. If you land the hit, they are grappled until they either make an escape check or until the end of your next turn. Not even their next turn, your next turn. Which means, guess what? Next round, you can combat grab again, and they're still off guard from the original combat grab. It's self-sustaining synergy. Triple S. Now, the one thing holding this back and keeping it in 5th place is that it does have that nasty press trait. As a reminder, a press action is an attack action, but it can never be done at your full multiple attack bonus. So it can't be your first attack of the round. You have to attack first and then combat grab. So you're better off doing this with an agile weapon, but guess what an agile weapon is? Your fist, and you have to have a free open hand for this. So even if you've got a battle axe in your main hand and you want a combat grab, you just take the -4 with fighter weapon proficiency, so it's the same as a -2 for any other class, and you just boop them on the snoot for 1d4 plus strength, and you've got them auto grappled. This even works on a melee dex-based fighter because you don't need athletics for this. There's no skill check. It's just a success. It's absolutely insane. And here's a pro tip for those of you out there who are considering taking combat grab on your fighter. Make use of the delay action. If you're not aware, at the start of your turn, you can choose to not take your turn yet and wait. And then after anybody's turn, you can slide back into initiative with that as your new position. What do? You wait until the target that you're going to grab takes their turn. Then you slide back into initiative, walk over, combat grab, and now they're off guard. All of your allies get to go, all their ranged attacks making use of that off guard, then they get to go and they either escape or they don't escape and you can just re-up the grab right away. It's disgusting. It's basically near permanent off guard on a creature, and that's nasty. And it's level 2. But coming in 4th place is an even lower level feat right at level 1. You can get this out the gate. Double Slice. Who doesn't love ignoring multiple attack penalties? 2 attacks for 2 actions at full fighter weapon bonus. That's disgusting. Coming out the gate at level 1, that's 2 attacks at +9. You can even customize this. You can go the classic longsword, short sword, and then yeah, it's longsword +9 to hit, short sword +9 to hit. That's 1d8 plus 1d6 plus 8 damage. Alternatively, if you want to go risky bisky, you can go with like a battle axe and a longsword. They're both d8 weapons, but the second one's only at -2, so what do you put more weight into? -2 to hit for potentially a little bit more damage, or the normal full bonus for a little bit less damage. There's so many ways to run this feat, and it's awesome. You can go full gun swinging with just 2 big single-handed martial weapons, 2 bastard swords if you want to, or again, you can go classic martial and then agile, and as if there aren't martial agile weapons. There's so many different characters that can make use of Double Slice, and it's so universally good. That's why it's on this list. If you're using 2 weapons as a fighter, you really want Double Slice. Is it mandatory? Absolutely not. There's still other good feats, but it's so hard to pass up 2 attacks at your full bonus. The only restriction is they have to be against the same target. Oh no. Boo-hoo. Oh, and by the way, their damage is added together. So you land both, you deal that 1d8 plus 1d6 plus 8. If something has resistance 5, well good, you add the damage together. You did 2 piercing attacks? Cool. If they have resistance 5, it reduces the total damage by 5, not each attack by 5. This feat at level 1 is crazy. But there are 3 more that beat it. Coming in, the bronze medal, 3rd place, again, a level 2 feat, Intimidating Strike. Y'all, what's there to say about Intimidating Strike? You hit a creature, and they become Frightened 1. There is no save, there is no skill check, there is nothing. If you hit them with fighter weapon proficiency, they become Frightened 1. When you crit them because you're a fighter, they become Frightened 2. This doesn't have the press trait. It's insane. It's just 2 actions. Boom, you're frightened. You're a fighter. You're not gonna miss. In fact, odds are you'll probably crit, which inflicts them with Frightened 2, which means guess what? On the next turn, when it's your turn again, they're still Frightened 1, so you can Intimidating Strike again, and their armor class is lower. Just like Combat Grab, it's self-sustaining synergy. Intimidating Strike is nuts. Consistency is a rarity in Pathfinder 2e, something that can always inflict a status condition, something that always works. And yes, I'm exaggerating, you're going to miss sometimes. I love to talk about how the fighter never misses, because they don't, but Intimidating Strike, putting something as powerful as Frightened, which as a reminder is -1 to everything, -1 to attack rolls, -1 to armor class, -1 to saving throws, -1 to skill checks, putting that on just a melee strike as a fighter, it's insane. Like, sure, it has to be melee, you can't do this with a ranged weapon, that's fine. Because this feat, there is not a fighter in the game that couldn't make use of this feat. It's that good. If you have a fighter, you can take Intimidating Strike and use it. I mean, I guess if you're a ranged fighter, you can. But even then, if you get caught in melee, boop them on the snoot, now they're scared of you. I love Intimidating Strike, 3rd place. Silver medal, 2nd place. Time to be a huge hypocrite. Remember how I said some feats are really boring and that they wouldn't get a lot of points for it? Well, I kinda lied, because in this case, the monkey brain just really likes big number. Y'all, I gotta tell you, we all have that time where the monkey just wants to roll as high of a number as... Why has this happened 2 videos in 1 month? sometimes the monkey likes to see big numbers, which I guess I never get to see. But that monkey part of my brain is why silver medal, second place, is going to level 8's incredible aim. I know, yell at me in the comments, you're fine. I'm a massive hypocrite about this one. I don't care, it's my list, make your own. Incredible aim is super simple. For 2 actions, you make a ranged strike, and you get +2 circumstance bonus to the attack roll. That's it, that's the feat. It also ignores concealed, woohoo, that's not what you take this for. You are a fighter getting another +2. You're level 8, you have master weapon proficiency. With a +4 in dexterity and incredible aim, you are attacking at +20. 8 from your level, 6 from master proficiency, that's already +14, +4 from dex, that's +18, plus incredible aim, that is +20 to hit, and it can't necessarily stop there. What if the target's off guard because somebody grappled them? Cool, now their AC is reduced by 2. What if you have a bard? That's a +1 status bonus to attack rolls, so it stacks with incredible aim. What if the target is frightened because the wizard cast fear? Now their AC is reduced by another 2. And let's not forget, you have a +1 weapon at this point. You're attacking at +21 against a target who could have their armor class reduced by up to 4. Let's ignore the frightened condition. That is the most, might not be a thing of all of this. Let's assume you have the bard. Let's assume you have the bard, someone has a target grappled, and you have a +1 weapon. With a +22 to hit and the target having a -2 armor class from being grappled, a level 10 young forest dragon. You hit them on a 6. You critically hit them on a 16 or higher. And if you're doing this with a firearm, that has the fatal trait. If you're using, let's say, an arquebus, that suddenly is dealing 5d12 +6 on that critical hit. There's a weapon specialization at this level. Don't forget, that's 3 free bonus damage, which is also double on a crit. I love incredible aim. And if you do have that wizard who makes the dragon frightened too, you're critically hitting on a 14. And this is against a boss level monster. A creature that's 2 levels higher than you is boss threat. If you're fighting something that's your level, you're critically hitting on like a 13. And that damage gets even higher. You can have a fundamental rune on this. You can have flaming for an extra d6 or 2d6 on a crit. You could have fearsome, meaning when you critically hit them, because it's not an if you critically, it's when you critically hit them, they become frightened 1. You don't really benefit from that, but your team sure does. This feat is insane. It's boring. It's just plus numbers math, which is something I always say I'm not a big fan of, but it's so rare in Pathfinder that I love to see it, especially on a class like the fighter. If any class in the game deserves just a raw number boost, it's the fighter. And gods, does this one feel good, and I'm really glad it's only for ranged attacks. If it was for any attack, this would be really bad game design. I think limiting the raw attack accuracy boost to ranged was a great choice. Also, it costing 2 actions is great balancing. Sorry, incredible aim just makes monkey brain really happy. But remember, that was just the silver medal. That was just second place. So what gets gold? What gets first place? What is the cream of the crop when it comes to fighter feats? 2 words. Crashing slam. Right out the gate, I'm gonna get people calling me a hypocrite again. Crashing slam is one of the few feats that is part of a feat chain. You need slam down first. Well, guess what? Slam down is also an amazing feat, and crashing slam just upgrades it at level 10. Combat grab, like we said, is great for applying free grapple. Intimidating strike is great for applying free frightened. Crashing slam not only applies free prone, but it deals bonus damage when you do. For 2 actions, you make a melee strike, and if you hit the target, they suffer as if you had just critically successfully tripped them. So they're gonna take 1d6 bonus bludgeoning damage, or if you're using a 2-handed weapon with the trip trait, they take damage equal to your weapon's damage die size instead, which is probably gonna be a d10 instead of a d6. You can look at this as 2 actions, deal an extra weapon damage die, and knock the target prone automatically. And this is already incredible. They're off guard against everybody. Again, do the trick where you delay your turn until after their turn, knock them prone. They can't stand up until their turn. But unlike combat grab, the benefits don't stop there. Yes, they are off guard to everybody. They also take a -2 to all of their attacks while they're still prone. But the big one, because you are a fighter, probably using a 2-handed weapon, While you are prone, you have exactly 3 options. You can take cover from ranged attacks. That's not going to help against the fighter next to you. You can try to crawl away. Well, guess what? That triggers reactions. You know what else triggers reactions? Their third option, standing up. Standing up or crawling away. They both spend an action, and they're both move actions that don't prevent reactions. Every fighter in the game comes with reactive strike built into their kit. You bonk them on the head the moment they try to stand up. Look at this. You can look at this as stunned 1 and a second attack at your full bonus. You are stripping away one of their actions if they try to stand up, and when they do stand up, you just hit them again. It's just such good self-setup with so little ways for the enemy to get away. It steals actions, it sets you up for bonus attacks, it doesn't cost a resource, it doesn't have the press trait. It's insane. Crashing Slam. It's more damage. It's just so much. If you have another fighter or anybody else with reactive strike on your team and you're already flanking this guy, oh, if he stands up, he's gonna have a bad time. I'll stop going on and on about it. Crashing Slam is incredible. It's phenomenal. I've been the GM on the side of a Crashing Slam fighter before. It's brutal. It's really brutal, especially if it's like a one enemy boss fight against the whole team. That boss is just falling over and over and over again because they're tripping on a normal hit. They're a fighter. They're not missing. This is my favorite fighter feat in all of Pathfinder 2e. But what do you think in the comments? Does my list match up with your list? What is your top 5 fighter feats with or without explanations? I'd love to hear everybody else's personal experiences and their thoughts on the list, their own. This is something I want to do more of. Some ways to, reanalyze the game in the face of like just one class. What are your favorite parts of that class, So let me know in the comments and I might just do a few more of these. I've been really having fun with it. Also, I hope you all have been enjoying the editing so far. We have a new editor on staff. It's my friend Andy, or Anthony if you've seen the streams, and he's doing a bang up job. He's edited the Barathu guide in the past. If you haven't seen that, you should definitely go check it out. And he edited this video, and I think he's doing a damn good job. So if we can all get some clap Anthony's in the comments, I would really appreciate that, just to embarrass him a little bit. All right, well, I want to give one more huge shout out to all the members of the No Nat One's Patreon. My brain turned off. What the I want to give one final shout out to the members of the No Nat One's Patreon page, link in the description, and that is all from me. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And until next time, No Nat Ones.